Thanks for joining us for another edition of National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. Louis. In the headlines, Dominicans to become master trainers in the application of Caribbean vocational qualification. UNICEF presents findings on a survey on violence against women and children in Dominica, and Harris Paints joins the fight against cancer. Details of our headline stories and more in just a moment.
Think water, think life. Water refreshes, restores, cleans, and enhances growth. Potable water is a benchmark for development. DOWASCO is serious about its mandate to ensure easy access to potable water island-wide and provide sewage services for a cleaner environment. DOWASCO is your water and sewage company.
Thanks for staying with us. A cadre of persons from the private and public sector are learning to become master trainers in the application of Caribbean vocational qualification. The training will allow persons to assist in properly assessing CVQs in Dominica and Antigua. Those participating in the training are from engineering, garment production, hospitality, and building construction sectors. Dr. Paulette Dunpierre is a regional consultant for technical and vocational education and training.
We want to build the capacity of the TV professionals here in Dominica. So we have a 2-week exercise where they go through a number of activities to develop the tools to be able to train others. It's important that we start at the beginning, and the beginning is trainers. So having concluded this exercise, they will now be able to train others. So in terms of the objectives, we want to look at a number of areas. First and foremost, we look at competency-based education and training. They have to have a good understanding of what competency-based education and training is. They also have to have a good understanding of adult learning, how adults learn. They also need to know about teaching styles, the various methods that we use, and the individual learning styles as well.
With the introduction of the Caribbean single market economy, CVQs are becoming very vital, allowing persons to move within the region with no restriction. Marlene Jean-Jacques from Caribbean Apparel represents the garment industry and feels that this sort of training is needed for the industry.
This whole CVQ, it is competency based, meaning you have to know what you're doing. You have to, at the end of this program, you have to have hands-on training. So when you go to the industry and you go to the workplace, you know a lot of students right now with CXC, they have let's say in clothing and textile, they come to your work and say, okay, I can sew. And they come and they just cannot do the practical. They know the theory part, but the practical. So CVQ is about that. It's a test and measure. So at the end of it, when you say you can do it, you can do it.
The Goodwill Secondary School has been a pilot school for CVQs and is taking part in the training as well. One of its teachers, Vilma Samuel, says students should feel proud to be certified in any skill.
Students who has skill, in the past, has always been pushed aside. And it's all about academic. But at the end of the day, if we look at it, persons who are self-employed, persons who have a skill, if you check it, they make more money than workers who work in a bank or who has a uniform on them and walk to school. And I always tell my students, when you have a skill, nobody can take it away from you. And you could have an ordinary job and you could still have your skill job that you do. And if the children are assessed and if they have their certificate at the end of it, it's going to do so much for them, not only for them, but it also puts back into the community and also the country.
The government of Dominica has been instrumental in the introduction of a technical and vocational education and training in the curriculums in schools and are seeking to develop an institute to offer TVETs with accreditation being offered by the Dominica State College. Lecturer at the Dominica State College, Alan Morris, says that this speaks volumes for the college and the government is to be commended for the initiative.
I think it is very interesting that the government of Dominica is looking to improving the TVET atmosphere in Dominica. And having the Dominica State College on board as one of the major institutions, and especially being the Center of Excellence of Education, is a great advantage to the people, to government and people of Dominica. As a master trainer, it arms me with more improved and modernized techniques as to how to deal with the young adults that comes to the college. And it provides the college with all other avenues for training other persons in the public sector.
At the end of the exercise, 13 persons will be trained. Dominica, along with the 3 other OECS states, is taking advantage of the niche market of fine-flavored cocoa. On Tuesday, the OECS Competitive Business Unit, together with Europe, Africa, Caribbean, Pacific Liaison Committee, or QUALCAP, under the IDIS Food Safety Program, hosted a regional information and dissemination workshop on food safety for fine-flavored cocoa. This workshop aims to strengthen the capacity of cocoa farmers, manufacturers, and supervising institutions. They are now better prepared to adjust to new quality and safety regulation of international markets, as well as improve quality standards and quality control to facilitate the expansion and diversification of the OECS cocoa industry. Delia Dominici, one of the project officers, revealed that the workshop is one component of a comprehensive proposal submitted to IDIS in July.
The global cocoa markets now require minimum residue level of pesticide, mycotoxins, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, heavy metals like cadmium in cocoa, which pose a threat to consumers' health in the European Union and in the local and regional consumer markets. So non-compliance with these are likely to lead to loss of access to export markets, livelihoods, and potential incomes for cocoa farmers. So this is the importance of the food safety in the cocoa industry.
Other components under this overall approach to development include fine flavor marketing, value chain study, identification and selection of indigenous fine flavor varieties, and marketing for fine flavor cocoa products such as dry cocoa, cocoa sticks, and chocolates. Global demand for cocoa is increasing, especially for fine flavor produced in a few countries in the world like Dominica. His Excellency Ambassador Felix Gregoire notes that this is an ideal opportunity for Dominica.
Fine flavor cocoa as a niche product is less exposed to world trade commodity price fluctuations, but require good agricultural practices to ensure quality and certification standards.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Harold Geese, said that the ministry has assigned a designated cocoa coordinator and is working in collaboration with the Bureau of Standards, Dexter, local farmers and stakeholders to increase production for local consumption and exports. The Permanent Secretary explained that the ministry is seeking to introduce several varieties of cocoa with support from the Banana Accompanying Measures Program.
Part of the BAM funds will be used to upgrade and rehabilitate the Londonderry facility for the preparation of a mist propagation unit to produce planting material using cuttings rather than seed, and the relevant training to achieve this objective.
The ministry will soon embark on a $280,000 modern cocoa sweating and drying facility. The development of a soil fertility mapping project will also be embarked upon by the government of Dominica in collaboration with the government of Morocco. The Social Welfare Division, particularly the Child Abuse Prevention Unit, is concerned about the rate of child abuse in Dominica. The concerns stem from a recent poll conducted on violence against women and children in Dominica. The findings of the 2014 UNICEF-funded polls were presented to media practitioners at a workshop on Tuesday dubbed Media as Advocates for Children. The poll was conducted by cadres in 8 Caribbean countries, including Dominica. 600 individuals across the islands were interviewed on sexual child abuse, corporal punishment, and domestic violence. Lisa McLean-Trotman, a communication for development specialist at UNICEF, presented the findings.
The majority of persons in Dominica they receive their information from the media. They rate the media pretty high as far as information about child sexual abuse. And I think that was interesting for us because it means then that a workshop like this is very timely, that we have to make certain that since most Dominicans are saying they receive their information about what is child sexual abuse from the media, they receive information about how to report from the media. It's important then that the capacity of the media, that they're strengthened to ensure that the correct information is out there, we're following the right guidelines and so on. The other interesting finding too, and I think this was across the region, is that most persons are saying the first person they report to would be the police. So again, that's an area making certain that those systems are strengthened. The third, I'm looking at the commonalities across the country, is that people fear they wouldn't want to report. While they say that they would report, they don't want to do it because they fear victimization, embarrassment of stepping forward, and the whole thing of that it's not my business. And I think that's something that we need to work upon to let everybody know that reporting child abuse is everybody's business.
The survey also revealed that majority of Dominicans share the view that child sexual abuse is a main concern on the island. A number of persons interviewed also expressed that they knew of the incidents of child abuse in their community. Notably, the majority of these persons say they would reveal the case to the police or seek help for the victim. On the issue of corporal punishment, a new trend reveals that more Dominicans seek other means of disciplining their children as opposed to using physical force. While a minority is still silent about the issue, Gemma Azil Luce, coordinator of the Child Abuse Prevention Unit, says despite challenges, the unit continues to promote breaking the silence on child abuse.
Some of these strategies include the successful implementation of community outreach programs, such as parenting programs in various communities, educational sessions in schools, preschools, primary schools, and secondary schools, educational sessions with PTAs, workshop with community leaders and also sports officials, specifically cricket coaches, therapeutic services for the survivors of child abuse and their families, re-entry of teenage mothers into the educational system, increase in distribution of educational print material on child abuse, among others.
The unit is hoping that the findings of the survey can be used to better strategize a way forward for the prevention of the incidents of child abuse in Dominica. The Dominica branch of Harris Paints has joined the Dominica Cancer Society in the fight against cancer. Regional Chief Executive Officer of Harris Paints, Ian Kenyon, presented a check of $5,143.69 to President of the Society, Kathleen John Baptist Cornelius, on Tuesday. From October 15th to December 24th, 2014, Harris Paints pledged 36 cents on every gallon of paint manufactured and sold locally to the Dominica Cancer Society as part of their Christmas special dubbed Harris is Giving Back. CEO Kenyon says the company, now in its 36th year here in Dominica, is happy to give back to the community.
It is with a very proud heart that I can say on behalf of the company how pleased we are to be able to kind of give back this money to such a good cause. Cancer touches everyone. It's only been in my family, it's been in many of our families, and to know that kind of we can give back to fighting that cause and give back to good families that deserve the money it just makes us feel really good about what we do.
He also commended the Dominica team for what he considers a forward-thinking and notable initiative. At that ceremony, the Dominica Cancer Society extended that generosity to the family of young Phil Viville, a 5-year-old recently diagnosed with brain cancer who is currently receiving treatment in France.
This morning we want to make the check that Harris is going to give to us. We are going to hand it over to the Viville family towards Phil's treatment. And this is our way of expressing our gratitude to the Harris Paint team, that you could see directly one of our members benefit, and I am sure that the Viville's family has been undergoing significant expenses, and this is only a drop in the bucket towards those expenses. But as much as we are grateful for the contribution, we are going to pass it on this morning.
A thankful Timothy Viville, Phil's father, received a check on his family's behalf. John Baptist Cornelius says the donation simply proves that cancer is not beyond us. This was the theme for this year's World Cancer Awareness Day in February.
Through the efforts of Harris Paints, we are able to see that anyone who wants to join the fight is able to contribute to this cause. Cancer is not beyond us, because with every little drop that is in the bucket, it goes towards the care for cancer patients. And this morning we are thankful for the big drop which has come into our bucket, and we would like to express our thanks to the Harris Paints team, and we look forward to continue collaboration efforts with you.
Cooking equipment was donated to the 4-H senior clubs as well as other non-profit organizations by the European Union-funded BAM program on Wednesday. 4-H coordinator Shirley Alexander says that the donation seeks to better equip the various 4-H clubs for the dinner plate competition. The presentation took place at the Goodwill Secondary School, where the first zonal competition was held.
We felt the need for us to equip our clubs in a bigger way in preparation for the dinner plate competition. So we thought it would be a good idea to request from BAM some stoves that each school could have, and throughout the year they would have training programs, fundraising activities, and whatever it is in preparation for the competition, and also to upgrade their club in any way for the finances of the clubs, and just to get our 4-Hers more skilled in the area of cooking and culinary arts, because many of them are really interested in that. And like one of our main advisors, Mr. Leonard Luce, says, we're still lacking in Dominica in relation to chefs, people who can really handle themselves in the kitchen. So we really do appreciate that big gift from BAM. Is almost the 10 stoves cost almost $36,000 EC dollars.
In her remarks, Carleen Roberts, a National Authorizing Officer for the European Development Fund, explained that as part of its key capacity building in the agricultural sector, BAM seeks to enhance the agricultural program at selected primary and secondary schools. This is part of the efforts to enhance the subject area, make it more attractive as a viable career option, and stimulate interest in agriculture at a young age. The 4-H club was chosen out of many due to its work with youth.
While seeking effective ways in which BAM could support agricultural programs at the secondary and the primary schools, the 4-H program was considered because of its extensive work with the youth. During discussions with the Youth Development Division, the 4-H program was again recommended for support under BAM. It was then decided that the dinner plate competition provided an excellent opportunity to highlight how agriculture can impact and make a meaningful contribution to food security, culinary arts, tourism, and creativity beyond mere production.
According to Roberts, with the resources from BAM, the 10 30-inch stoves were purchased to facilitate training activities for 4-H clubs and other youth development programs. The stoves will be used at 7 schools and 2 at the Youth Development Division's Youth Center, as well as 1 at Calls in Portsmouth. BAM will also support training of the 4-H senior clubs in preparation of the dinner plate final to create opportunities for effective use of the resources provided, become familiar with the guidelines of the competition, improve culinary arts, and develop ideas for innovative recipes and related names involving the use of BAM target crops.
It is hoped that the EU's contribution will reinforce the objective of the dinner plate. That is, create opportunities for senior 4-H clubs or clubites between the ages of 12 to 18 years to develop their culinary skills and to sensitize them and the general public on the need and methods to utilize local agricultural food items for economic enrichment and health benefits.
BAM will also support the live broadcast of the final event on Saturday, the 18th of April at the Dominica Grammar School. And that's the English news. McPherson said Luce is up next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson Sandos. Premièrement, le ministre de l'Éducation a conduit le programme TVET et CVQ en institution d'éducation pays là. Parole celle-là, sorti du ministre de l'Éducation, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean. Honorable Saint-Jean dit ça fait l'État aussi autant important pour le développement étudiant et d'autres mondes.
J'attends l'eau parler contre TVET et CVQs et moi déjà parlé contre trois l'école nous avons servi comme ça, nous avons créé un pilot programme. Ça c'est l'école Grammar School, Goodwill Secondary School et North East. Moi je veux dire nous avons fait TVET en toute grande école nous en Dominique et aussi en State College. Mais nous avons servi ça comme pilot pour CVQs. Et ça nous a dit vraiment que les jeunes monde qui attendent grande l'école, il pas ni pour simplement faire mathématiques et sciences et langage, mais aussi c'est fouille ni en l'état à nous adresser problème ça là nous éduquer ces jeunes gens pour y faire en l'état et nous offrir différents états comme agriculture, nous créer ça crop production et aussi travail tailleur et couturier, ça c'est garment making et aussi nous avons différents programmes comme cosmétologie on l'autre différents l'état qui jeunes monde ça apprendre aller yo quitter l'école yo ça ni en place en société en marché de travail là.
En d'autres nouvelles, ministre Kalinago, Honorable Cassius Darou, comme mettez attention à la santé Pep Kalinago. Selon Honorable Darou, santé pour Pep Kalinago autant important pour lui.
Projet pour ça, lever santé moun. Quand dernière fois moi j'étais nous t'ai c'est Cuban là des venir yo t'ai venu nous t'ai non bon turnout nous t'ai presque 300 moun à venir pour joindre c'est docteur Cuban. Mais ça moi voulais faire c'est pour faire point plus loin. Parce que même si vous avez venu là pour occuper santé ou même pour manger bien, vous avez un problème. So nous avons annoncé petit mois à venir nous comment nous encourager mon petit casio pour ça faire backyard gardening, planter plus vegetables pour manger plutôt. Parce que top temps nous respect ouais ce bagage nous important pays avec ça va faire bien pour santé nous. So c'est un programme ça nous va travailler là.
On autre bagaille qui a tapé attention, c'est transformation resource center en Sineku.
Also Sineku, on rural community development business. Nous avons Sineku, là nos resource center, bel resource center Sineku aussi. Ça nous voulait faire, c'est pour nous tourner à un business incubator. So là où on a visité Kalinago territory, là où vivre Sineku, son côté où on obligé à arrêter. Quoi pour un petit snack, on manger Kalinago, quoi d'apprendre information quand l'escalier tête chien si vous voulez visiter, quoi visiter, comme quoi pour flow territorial, quoi taper information pour ça dire, ça pour expecter, juste en quitter. Avec un bon establishment là, Kalinago Barana, Otemba là où ça descend, à taper d'autres informations, enjoy quoi.
Gouvernement Dominica travaille bien pour Pep Kalinago. Dans la nouvelle département qui a une responsabilité pour le welfare des enfants, tient un workshop pour les médias mardi. Workshop là va participants au meilleur couponnement et puis comment est bien important pour faire report à ces enfants qui abusent. Département là fait parole comment médias là ça joue un pas autant important pour report case enfants qui affectés. Département là qui l'intérêt ces enfants là c'est posé protéger en haut tout d'autres bagailles. Si l'officier département là, Gemma Luce, toute l'armée est posée à bord pour combattre le problème grave salade. Madame Luce bat des tailles abysments enfants en Dominique, record qui a étonné autant. Gouvernement Dominique par ministre développement comme Unité et puis famille, bien concerné l'état abysments enfants en Dominique. Et puis finalement, ça fait qu'à concerner bonne qualité produits locaux supposés et puis bon standard pour la place exportation. Parole celle-là sur le permanent secrétaire ministre agriculture Harold Gist. Permanent secrétaire Gist fait parole celle-là pendant un workshop bon standard qualité qui te prend place en Dominique semaine passée.
Si nous pas mettons ces bagages en place, il y a un parti marché actuellement nous avons exporté, c'est une matin nous avons exporté en région là. Comme même ça, market pour figues, nous perdons pour le moment. C'est même problème qualité. C'est figues là qui ont différentes couleurs, figues là différents grosseurs graines, ni quoi que ça chrome, tout différents qualités de bagages. Pour ça, qualité très important. Avec après habitants travaillent wed, après marin travaille wed, ils aller pêcher, ils restent en soleil, toute qualité de bagages, la pluie mouille et ils travaillent aussi wed. Et bien ils produisent un produit. Au cas d'après qui ces qualités là pas bon. Si vous pas prendre précaution pour préserver la qualité, vous pouvez que ça vendre à le marché.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson c'est Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, how to better manage your money.
If you can believe this,
come by my house and let me show you some movies.
Why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
If you want to get on top of your finances, then doing up a budget is an essential first step. Identify where you can cut back. If you're spending more than you have each month, you will always be in the red. Start saving. If you regularly save, then you will find that your money adds up and keeps growing. Set aside some emergency savings fund to fall back on if you really need it. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Kerdisha. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.